David Gordon Green's directorial work has included the highly praised and award-winning independent films George Washington, his first feature film, already available on DVD as part of the Criterion Collection, as well as All the Real Girls. His newest film, Snow Angels, shot in Nova Scotia, focuses on the melodrama of small-town life and the traumas of family tragedy. Starring Sam Rockwell and Kate Beckinsale, Snow Angels captures just a few short moments in the lives of two couples as they face the disintegration of their families and the heartbreak of losing a loved one. Reminiscent of such films as Todd Field's In the Bedroom and Ben Affleck's Gone Baby Gone, through both its realistic dialogue and its intense focus on its snowy surroundings, Snow Angels also explores the melancholy landscape of human experience.
Do you have a sledgehammer in your heart? Because I have a sledgehammer in my heart. Are you ready to be my sledgehammer?
You're not supposed to be here.
I know. I just thought I'd say hello. I got a new job.
You got a job?
I'm not as much of a screw-up as you think I am.
She used to babysit me when I was younger. No more bedtime stories? I had a crush on her.
Do you have any idea how cute you are?
I don't care what the judge said. I'm not a dangerous person. I want to be a good father. I still got a key, so if you're not here, I'll just...
Actually, we had the locks changed a few weeks ago.
Who's we?
That was Barb.
Can we just not talk about Barb? I'd like to not think about my wife right now.
You can't be on this property, Chief.
Get off me!
It's my house, my family in there.
Listen, I know what's happening.
Stop spying on me! Do you want me to call the police?
Let me tell you something.
Well, Kate Beckinsale's rather flat performance in Snow Angels is thankfully balanced by a brilliant one from Sam Rockwell. He plays the kind of passive-aggressive abuser that we would recoil from if we met him later in his descent, but we don't. We meet him as a rickety, dry drunk, holding himself together with spit, baling wire, and a newfound Christianity. We extend our compassion to him, which makes his slide all the more frightening. Snow Angels felt flat to me when I watched it, but afterwards it unpacked in my brain and had a real impact. Each scene is very sly, with a specific emotional point to show you. It's as if the movie is building a case, and by the end, that case is rock solid.
Well, I'm glad you pointed out Sam Rockwell's performance in this film because I feel like he's a very underrated and under-noticed actor. And I know he got a lot of press for Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, but I think
that was
other
a
than
tough
that,
role too.
Yeah, and that was a really difficult role. And I think people's own, because it's a biopic, I think people have expectations of what to expect from his performance in that. So I found it also pleasant to see his performance in this film, and also the diversity and range of his performance I found was really interesting in this film as well.
You and I both liked the younger couple in the film as well. There's sort of this parallel relationship of a couple that is working, paralleled with a couple that's not, and a very unusual relationship in the film, didn't you think?
Yeah, I really liked that because I just found it to be a sweet kind of respite from what's going on for the rest of the film, which is all this tragic, tragic narrative and depressing and all that stuff. And so I found that the young couple kind of lends the film some hope, which I find that the film needs. And so I found that really impressive. And also,
but it's interesting, the shot, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
no.
the shot it ends on. I mean, I don't want to spoil this for anybody, but you're sort of left with hope, but then he nails you at the end in a very mysterious way.
And in general, I wouldn't say it's a hopeful film, but at least that has its moments, and I think that breaks it from just sitting there for 2 hours and being overwhelmed by that kind of tragic characterization of the film. So,
you know, I mentioned that I thought that the scenes were pretty subtle in the case it's building. I'm wondering what you thought of two things. There's a scene where Lila, I think is the young girl, she has red on her hands, so she's touched a red wall, and there are also characters who are always slipping throughout the movie, and these seem to set up the sort of terrible things that happen late in the film. Did you think this was a subtle foreshadowing, or am I imagining this?
Well, I didn't catch that, as a matter of fact. And actually, all I kept thinking throughout the whole film was, what is the meaning of the snow angels? And I kept expecting there to be a snow angel scene when people get out in the snow and make snow angels, and I'm not going to tell you whether that happens or not for the audience. But I think that it kind of breaks your expectations in a lot of ways, because for me, that meaning of the snow angels is part of the magic of the film, is that it's left kind of in this state of unknowability, I think, in a lot of ways. And
I won't not spoil anything, but you and I interviewed the director, and he wouldn't tell us really. And I've always liked Joseph Campbell's description of this, which is if you ask a real artist what his work means, he'll tell you what it means if he despises you.
Yeah, and I thought it was really generous as well because he did ask us what we thought it meant, which I also find to be really fascinating to think about a film director's relationship to his own movie in terms of what he's interested in terms of the audience's expectations.
So what's your final verdict on this one?
I say rent it. And the reason I say rent it is because I feel like this is a film that would work well on DVD. I think in the home, I think is a perfect setting to watch this film. And also, especially because of the content, I find it useful to be at home so you can kind of be stuck in the aftermath afterwards in the comfort of your own home. So.
And I'm going to go with See It. I think it's worth a full price admission. It's a pretty good drama. And that's about it for this installment. So check back next week for a new movie, and we'll tell you whether you should see it or skip it.